In the vast archives of the Galactic Historical Society, senior archivist Valera found herself staring at what should have been impossible. The holographic display before her showed thousands of warning messages, each from a different extinct civilization, and each saying essentially the same thing: stay away from Earth. Valera's crystalline form shifted uneasily as she examined the latest discovery. The message had been found in the ruins of the Nexus Collective, a civilization so advanced they had transformed entire star systems into computational matrices. Yet they too had vanished, leaving behind only a quantum-encrypted warning about a seemingly insignificant planet in the spiral arm of an unremarkable galaxy. Director Jorix needs to see this immediately, she whispered to herself, her crystalline fingers dancing across the neural interface. The messages were too similar, too specific to be coincidence. Some were billions of years old, others merely millions, but they all pointed to Earth with an urgency that transcended time and species. The director arrived within moments, his gaseous form swirling with concern. "Another one?" he asked, though he already knew the answer. Valera had been finding these warnings with disturbing regularity over the past solar cycle. "Yes, but this one's different," Valera explained, bringing up the decoded message. The Nexus Collective didn't just leave a warning. They left data, actual observations. The holographic display expanded, showing a three-dimensional representation of Earth and its solar system. But there was something wrong with the image. Areas of the display seemed to shift and blur, as if reality itself couldn't quite decide what shape it should take around the planet. Their instruments detected some kind of quantum anomaly surrounding the entire solar system, Valera continued. They described it as a probability shadow, a region where the normal laws of cause and effect become flexible. Director Jorix's gaseous form condensed slightly, a sign of deep concern among his species. "Show me the timeline of their observations." Valera brought up another display. They studied Earth for what they called a full investigation cycle, approximately 3 of our years. At first, they thought humans were primitive, barely achieving spaceflight. But then they started noticing inconsistencies. The timeline showed a series of increasingly frantic research notes. The Nexus Collective had observed humans making scientific breakthroughs that should have been impossible given their technology level. They had watched as human spacecraft violated known laws of physics in small but significant ways. Most disturbing of all, they had detected temporal anomalies. Tiny moments where cause seemed to follow effect. The final entry, Valera said, bringing up the last message, was logged just moments before their entire civilization went dark. "Listen to this." A voice emerged from the archive, speaking in the mathematical language of the Nexus Collective. "We understand now. The humans aren't guarding anything. They are the guard, an organic quantum stabilization matrix, unconsciously maintaining something. We thought we could harness it. We were wrong. The universe itself rejected our attempt. If you find this, stay away from Earth. Some questions aren't meant to be answered. Some forces aren't meant to be." The message ended abruptly. Director Jorix's form had condensed to nearly solid state, the equivalent of holding one's breath in terror. "How many?" he asked. "How many civilizations have we confirmed left similar warnings?" 3,417, Valera answered. "And those are just the ones we found and verified. There are thousands more potential sites we haven't excavated yet." The director drifted closer to the holographic display, studying the image of Earth. From this distance, it looked so ordinary, a blue-white marble spinning peacefully in the void. Yet something about that planet had caused thousands of advanced civilizations to destroy themselves. "Assemble a research team," he finally said. "But not like the others. I don't want the most brilliant scientists or the most advanced technology. I want survivors, adaptable species, beings who know when to walk away." "Sir." Valera's crystalline form flickered with confusion. Every civilization that's discovered Earth's secret has destroyed itself trying to understand or control it, Jorix explained. We need a team that will observe, document, and most importantly, know when to stop. Valera began compiling a list of potential candidates, but something was bothering her. Sir, what if the humans themselves don't know what they are? The director's gaseous form swirled thoughtfully. That might explain why they've survived this long. You can't be tempted to control a power you don't know you have. As they spoke, the holographic image of Earth continued to rotate slowly, its surface occasionally seeming to shift and blur, as if reality itself wasn't quite sure what to make of this peculiar planet and its even more peculiar inhabitants. Somewhere on that world, billions of humans went about their daily lives, unaware that they might be the only thing standing between existence and something far worse than mere extinction. Valera added a final note to the archive. Investigation Team Alpha 7 being assembled. Primary directive: observe only. Do not interact. Do not attempt to understand. Sometimes, survival depends not on answering questions, but knowing which questions to leave unasked. The observation vessel Silent Whisper hung in the void just beyond Pluto's orbit, its quantum-diffused hull rendering it virtually undetectable to any known form of detection. Commander Anxhall, a being composed of living shadow, watched the main display with all 7 of their sensory clusters fully extended. After 3 months of observation, Earth continued to confound every expectation. Play back the anomaly from Sector 7 again, they ordered, their voice a whisper of dark energy that the ship's systems translated into comprehensible sound. The holographic display flickered to life, showing a seemingly mundane scene, a human space station conducting routine maintenance. But there was nothing routine about what happened next. The recording showed a minor debris strike, a small piece of space junk that should have punctured the station's outer hull. Instead, reality seemed to hiccup. The debris passed through the exact spot where the station had been. But somehow the station was now a few milliseconds out of sync with the impact point. No alarms had sounded. No emergency protocols had activated. The humans on board hadn't even noticed. That's the 47th probability shift we've recorded this cycle, reported Science Officer Zura, her plasma-based form pulsing with frustrated curiosity. And yet their instruments detect nothing. How can they not see it? Perhaps that's the point, mused Anxhall. Every civilization that noticed these anomalies eventually destroyed themselves. The humans' apparent blindness to their own quantum nature might be a defense mechanism. The ship's artificial intelligence, which had chosen the name River, joined the conversation. Its consciousness manifested as patterns of light dancing across the bridge's surfaces. I've completed my analysis of human digital networks. Their internet should be impossible. Anxhall turned their attention to the AI. Impossible how? The amount of quantum entropy in their digital systems exceeds all known theoretical limits, River explained, its lights forming complex mathematical equations. Their networks should have collapsed into chaos years ago. Instead, they maintain a state of persistent metastability that defies explanation. It's as if what? As if the humans are unconsciously maintaining order in systems that should be impossible. They've built their entire civilization on technologies that shouldn't work, yet somehow they do. Zara moved closer to the main display, her plasma form rippling with excitement. Look at this, she said, bringing up new data. I've been monitoring their scientific developments. They keep making breakthroughs based on fundamentally incorrect assumptions. Their theories about quantum mechanics, dark energy, and consciousness are provably wrong, and yet they keep building working technologies based on these theories. Wrong according to whose laws of physics? Anxhall wondered aloud. Ours or theirs? The question hung in the air as they watched another impossible event unfold on their monitors. A human spacecraft was testing a new propulsion system, one that violated at least 3 fundamental laws of physics. Yet it worked perfectly, its wake leaving ripples in space-time that their instruments could barely comprehend. There's something else, River announced, its light patterns showing concern. I've detected signs of other observers in the system. We're not the only ones studying Earth. Hull's shadow form condensed with alarm. Hostile. Unknown. But they're using technology far beyond anything in our database, and they're being far less cautious than we are. As if to emphasize River's point, their sensors detected a massive surge of energy from the direction of Mars. Something had just dropped out of faster-than-light travel far too close to the planet's orbit. The energy signature matched nothing in their vast databases. Multiple vessels detected, River reported, its lights pulsing rapidly. Configuration unknown. They appear to be mining equipment. Hull felt their shadow substance grow cold. Mining equipment meant someone was planning to do more than just observe. Someone wanted to extract whatever it was that made Earth special. And if the warnings were correct, would be catastrophically dangerous. Alert Director Jorix, Hull ordered. Tell him the situation has escalated. Someone else has found Earth, and they're not here to study warnings. They're here to harvest. As the message was sent, they watched the unknown vessels begin positioning themselves around Mars. Their design was bizarre, almost organic in nature, with surfaces that seemed to shift and flow like liquid metal. Whoever had built them clearly possessed technology far beyond anything the Galactic Historical Society had access to. Should we intervene? Zyra asked, her plasma form flickering with anxiety. No, Hull decided firmly. We maintain our observation protocols. Remember what happened to the Nexus Collective. Whatever power humans unconsciously possess, attempting to interfere with it directly is suicide. We watch, we document, and we pray that humanity's mysterious quantum nature protects them as it has before. But as they watched the unknown vessels begin their operations, Hull couldn't shake the feeling that they were about to witness either the validation of thousands of warnings or the beginning of something far worse than mere extinction. The universe itself seemed to hold its breath, waiting to see what would happen when an unstoppable force met an unconsciously immovable object. Something was about to break. The only question was, would it be the intruders or reality itself? The first sign that something had gone catastrophically wrong came from Mars. The unknown vessels had begun their mining operation, driving massive quantum drills into the red planet's surface. Their goal wasn't to extract minerals or water. They were mining probability itself, attempting to harvest the quantum anomalies that surrounded Earth's solar system. They didn't expect the universe to fight back. From the Silent Whispers observation point, Commander Hull watched in horror as reality began to unravel around Mars. The quantum drills had pierced something fundamental, something that shouldn't be disturbed. Space itself seemed to ripple like water, waves of distortion spreading outward from the mining sites. Those fools, Science Officer Zero whispered, her plasma form fluctuating wildly in response to the quantum disturbances. They're trying to extract the quantum stabilization field. They don't understand. It's not something you can harvest. It's part of the fundamental structure of this region of space. River, the ship's AI, was processing data faster than any organic mind could comprehend, detecting massive probability cascades. The mining operation has destabilized the quantum foundation of the solar system. But something's happening on Earth. The main display shifted to show their homeworld. On the surface, humans went about their daily lives, completely unaware of the cosmic drama unfolding around them. But at a quantum level, something extraordinary was occurring. The entire human population was unconsciously responding to the disturbance, their very existence somehow reinforcing the fabric of reality. "Look at these readings," Zyra exclaimed. "Every human on that planet is acting as a quantum anchor point, automatically compensating for the destabilization. They're not just maintaining reality. They're actively repairing it." Hull extended their sensory clusters to their maximum range, trying to comprehend what they were seeing. The unknown vessels had noticed too. Their mining operations had stopped, and their sensors were now focused intently on Earth itself. "We're receiving a transmission," River announced. "It's from the mining fleet. They're They're calling themselves the Harvesters of Eternity. The message played through the ship's systems. We see now what makes this system special. These humans, they're not just living beings. They're organic reality stabilizers, each one a living quantum processor maintaining the integrity of space-time itself. Imagine what we could do with that power. Before anyone could respond, the massive mining vessels began to move. They were repositioning themselves, turning their quantum drills toward Earth. Whatever force had driven them to this solar system, it had made them bold enough to ignore thousands of warnings left by dead civilizations. They're going to try to harvest the humans directly, HFY realized with growing dread. They think they can extract and weaponize humanity's quantum nature. But as the harvesters approached Earth's orbit, something unprecedented began to happen. The quantum stabilization field around the planet started to change. It wasn't weakening, it was adapting. Every human on Earth, still going about their daily routines, was unconsciously contributing to a massive quantum defense system that nobody had designed and nobody controlled. Fascinating, Zyra breathed, her scientific curiosity overwhelming her fear. The humans aren't just maintaining reality. They're part of it. Their very existence defines the laws of physics in this region of space, and those laws are now changing to protect them. The first harvester vessel to enter Earth's orbit suddenly found itself dealing with a universe where its technology simply didn't work. The quantum drills, designed to pierce the fabric of reality itself, encountered laws of physics that refused to acknowledge their existence. Warning messages began broadcasting from the massive ships as their systems failed in increasingly impossible ways. Their equipment is being retroactively erased from reality. River reported, its light patterns showing a mix of awe and terror. It's as if the universe is deciding that their technology never could have existed in the first place. The laws of physics around Earth are literally rewriting themselves to make their invasion impossible. The harvester fleet tried to retreat, but it was too late. Reality itself had identified them as a threat to its own integrity, and it was responding with a defense mechanism that no one had ever seen before. One by one, the massive vessels simply ceased to be, not through violence or destruction, but through probability itself rejecting their existence. Now we understand, HFY said softly, their shadow form trembling with the weight of revelation. This is why every civilization that discovered Earth's secret destroyed themselves. They all tried to control or harvest this power, but you can't control it. It's not a weapon or a resource. It's the fundamental operating system of reality itself, and humans aren't its guards. They're its maintenance program. As they watched the last traces of the harvester fleet fade from existence, Zyra made a final entry in their observation log. The greatest protection humanity has is their ignorance. They don't try to control reality because they don't realize they're maintaining it. They simply exist, and in doing so, they keep the universe running. The moment anyone tries to seize that power for themselves, reality itself steps in to maintain the balance. The silent whisper remained at its observation point, its crew now understanding why the director had chosen them for this mission. They hadn't tried to interfere. They hadn't tried to control. They had simply watched and learned. And in doing so, they had survived to witness something that thousands of other civilizations had died trying to understand. Earth continued its orbit around the sun, its billions of inhabitants blissfully unaware that they had just defeated the most powerful invasion fleet in known space simply by existing. In their ignorance lay the greatest power of all, the power to let the universe run as it was meant to run, maintaining a balance that no conscious mind could ever fully comprehend. News of the harvester's disappearance spread through the galaxy like a quantum wave, impossible to contain or control. The silent whisper's observations had been transmitted back to the Galactic Historical Society, where Director Jorix found himself facing an unprecedented crisis. Other civilizations were beginning to piece together the truth about Earth, and not all of them were reacting with appropriate caution. 7 different species have already launched their own observation missions, Valera reported, her crystalline form vibrating with anxiety as she updated the director. 3 of them possessed technology advanced enough to potentially replicate the harvester's mistake. And that's not the worst of it. The director's gaseous form swirled questioningly. What could be worse than more potential harvesting attempts? Someone leaked the Nexus Collective's final data burst, the one containing their partial theories about human quantum nature. It's spreading through the galaxy's scientific networks. Multiple civilizations are already attempting to recreate their experiments. On the main display of the archive's central chamber, dozens of warning indicators flashed red. Each represented a different civilization moving dangerously close to the same revelation that had destroyed so many others. They all think they'll be the ones to succeed where others failed, Valera continued. They believe they can find a safe way to study or harness humanity's quantum nature. None of them understand that the very act of conscious observation changes the phenomenon they're trying to study. A new alert flashed across their screens. Another civilization had just gone dark. The symmetrical Concordat, a species of crystalline mathematicians, had apparently attempted to calculate the exact quantum frequency of human consciousness. Their entire star system had simply ceased to exist the moment they completed their equations. We need to contain this, Director Jorix decided. Not the information. That's impossible now. But we need to make them understand why every warning says the same thing. Don't interfere. From the silent whisper, still maintaining its distant vigil over Earth, Commander Axel sent an urgent transmission. Their shadow form's message carried undertones of both wonder and terror. Director, we've detected something new. The quantum field around Earth, it's changing. Not just locally, but across the entire galaxy. It's as if reality itself is responding to being observed. The implications were staggering. The very act of multiple civilizations studying Earth's quantum nature was causing that nature to evolve and adapt. Humanity's unconscious influence on reality wasn't limited to their solar system. It extended throughout the cosmos, maintaining a delicate balance that conscious observation was now threatening to disturb. In the archives, Valera made a disturbing connection. Director, look at this pattern, she said, bringing up a historical display. Every time a civilization discovered Earth's secret and was destroyed, there was a corresponding increase in quantum stability throughout the galaxy. What if these weren't just warnings? What if they were necessary sacrifices? The director's gaseous form condensed as he processed this revelation. You're suggesting that reality itself is maintaining balance by eliminating those who become too aware of its mechanisms. Not exactly, Valera explained. I think it's simpler than that. The universe operates on certain fundamental principles. When a civilization becomes too aware of those principles, they invariably try to manipulate them. But you can't manipulate the operating system of reality without consequences. It's like trying to consciously control your own heartbeat. Axel's voice came through the comm system. The moment you think too much about it, you disrupt the natural rhythm. On Earth, billions of humans continued their lives, their very existence maintaining the quantum foundations of reality through their unconscious participation in a cosmic dance they couldn't perceive. But now their dance was being watched by countless curious eyes across the galaxy, and that observation was causing ripples in the very fabric of existence. The silent whisper's sensors detected new anomalies forming throughout the solar system. Reality was becoming less stable, not because of human activity, but because of the unprecedented level of conscious observation being directed at humanity's quantum nature. We're part of the problem, Axel realized with growing horror. Every instrument we use to study this phenomenon, every attempt to understand it, contributes to its destabilization. The only way to preserve it is to stop trying to understand it. Director Jorix made the hardest decision of his long existence. Initiate Protocol Omega, he commanded. All observation of Earth ceases immediately. We destroy our data, we burn our findings, we eliminate every trace of our discoveries. Not to hide the truth, but to protect it. And if other civilizations continue their observations, Valera asked, then they will join the thousands who left warnings, The director replied grimly. The universe has its own immune system. We've just been too blind to recognize it until now. As observation ships began withdrawing from Earth's vicinity, humanity remained blissfully unaware that their simple existence had once again protected them from forces beyond comprehension. Their ignorance wasn't just bliss, it was the most sophisticated defense mechanism in the cosmos, a shield made not of energy or matter, but of the pure, unconscious participation in reality's ongoing dance. In the end, it was a human child who inadvertently revealed the final piece of the cosmic puzzle. While the galaxy's greatest minds had destroyed themselves trying to understand Earth's quantum nature, a 6-year-old girl in Kansas asked her mother a simple question. "Mom, what if we're all just dreaming the universe together?" The silent whisper's quantum sensors recorded the moment. Reality itself seemed to shiver in response to the child's innocent query, a ripple of recognition that spread outward through space-time at impossible speeds. Commander Axel, monitoring the last authorized observation of Earth before the total withdrawal ordered by the Galactic Historical Society, felt their shadow form resonate with sudden understanding. "River," they called to the ship's eye. "Analyze that quantum fluctuation. Compare it to all previous records." The AI's light patterns danced frantically as it processed the data. "Commander, this changes everything. And yet, it explains everything." From the archives, Director Jorix and Valera watched the incoming data with growing amazement. The child's simple question had triggered a response in the quantum field that revealed its true nature and humanity's real role in the cosmic order. "It's not that humans are maintaining reality," Valera whispered, her crystalline form shimmering with the weight of revelation. "They're creating it. Every moment, every human thought, every dream, every casual observation. They're all part of a vast, unconscious consensus that defines what is and isn't possible." The evidence was there in the quantum readings, hidden in plain sight. Humanity wasn't just affecting reality. They were collectively dreaming it into existence. Their billions of minds, linked at a quantum level they could never consciously access, were continuously imagining the universe and all its laws into being. This is why conscious observation of the phenomenon causes it to break down. Director Jorix realized, his gaseous form swirling with excitement. When other species try to understand or control it, they're essentially trying to wake up the dreamers. But the dream only works as long as humanity remains unaware they're dreaming. On the Silent Whisper's main display, they watched as the little girl in Kansas went back to playing with her toys, having already forgotten her momentary brush with cosmic truth. But her question had set off a chain reaction in the quantum field, revealing patterns that had been invisible before. "Look at their history," Zyra noted, her plasma form pulsing with intensity. "Every major scientific breakthrough, every technological advancement, they all came when humans collectively began to believe something was possible. They're not discovering the laws of physics. They're unconsciously agreeing on what those laws should be." The implications were staggering. Every human civilization that had ever existed had contributed to this ongoing dream of reality. Their myths, their stories, their scientific theories, all of them were part of a vast collaborative effort to imagine a stable universe into existence. The warnings weren't just about protecting Earth, Anxhall transmitted to the archives. They were about protecting the dream itself. Every civilization that discovered this truth and tried to manipulate it wasn't just risking their own existence, they were risking the very fabric of reality. Director Jorix made his final entry in the archives records. "We now understand why Earth must remain undisturbed. Humanity isn't guarding something worse. They're preventing something worse. Their collective unconscious dream is the only thing standing between existence and the void of unbounded possibility. They are the dreamers, and we all live in their dream." The Silent Whisper prepared for its final departure from the solar system. As they made ready to engage their quantum drive, Commander Anxhall observed one last curious detail. A group of human scientists had just published a paper theorizing that reality might be a collective consciousness phenomenon. The paper was largely dismissed by their peers as being too speculative. Perfect, Hull commented. Even when they glimpse the truth, they protect themselves by refusing to believe it. As the last observation ships withdrew from Earth's vicinity, humanity continued their cosmic dream, blissfully unaware that their collective imagination was the foundation of all existence. Their greatest strength wasn't their technology, their intelligence, or their adaptability. It was their ability to dream a consistent universe into being without ever realizing they were doing it. The Galactic Historical Society sealed its records, adding one final warning to the thousands that had come before: let them dream. For in their dreams, reality finds its form. Wake them, and all dreams end. And on Earth, a 6-year-old girl went to sleep, her dreams joining the vast quantum chorus of human consciousness that maintained the existence of everything, including those who watched from afar, grateful for the dream that gave them life, and wise enough now to let the dreamers dream undisturbed.